Good day, everyone. Once again, briefly, I just want to touch on the power of God's love today. And this past 2 months, I've been meditating on this. And from the book of First Peter, chapter 4 and verse 8, a very well-known scripture, it says, above all, love one another deeply because love covers a multitude of sins. And for a long time, for the longest time, for now, the years that I'm serving the Lord, I always thought we don't talk about certain things. We just don't, because that will be judgment. We don't talk about things. We don't ask someone. We don't hold anyone accountable because we just need to love. And many people understand it that way, unfortunately. However, when you look at the word love in Scripture, it is very broad. It's not as simple as we read it and as we were taught and learned. English is not doing justice to many words in Scripture. So reading that word in context and getting the meaning or the interpretation of the word love in this verse, love covers a multitude of sins. The word love or the word covers, that's actually what I focus on. The word love in this scripture refers to brotherly love. It refers to the love feasts that we have. It refers to the affection we have towards one another. Now, I'm specifically speaking to the church here. I'm specifically speaking to followers of Christ, children of God. Now, if you're not part of the church, then this is not for you. This is specifically for the church. So this talks about the affection we have as Christians amongst each other. It talks about that benevolence, that the kindness, the consideration, just the humanity and the compassion we have for one another. And many times you will see in a movie where someone, maybe a child who's been doing wrong things, have no parents, and it's always those kids doing wrong things, breaking in, stealing, and all those type of things, doing all kinds of crime. When that person or that child comes into a loving family, it takes time, but over time you see the heart of that person softens. You see his actions change. He's suddenly experiencing this love that transforms him. And this is what that word love is talking about. So looking at the word cover in the context of that love, it talks about hinder. The word cover in the Greek here means to hinder the knowledge of something. Hinder is to make it difficult. So this is what it means to hinder something. It means to make it difficult for someone or to do something or to make it difficult for something to happen to you. So basically what it is, it impedes. So when we talk about impedes, we can also use the word overtake. So what it says here is, so Peter's instruction is, above all, love one another deeply because love covers a multitude of sin. It talks about when we are so in love with one another, when we have compassion towards one another, when we spend time with one another, and that's why fellowship is so important. It means that the love we have for one another, that brotherly affection, that benevolence, it breaks the power of sin from us. This is a spiritual thing. I cannot explain it to you, but what it is in this context of this word covers, it means the love we have for one another, how we embody that love, how we love one another, how we act towards one another, it hinders the power of sin. So it steps in, it overtakes sin in your life. It stands in the middle. It's almost like a go-between, like like a intercessor. It intercedes. It jumps in front of sin. So it hinders sin to get access into your life. And this is what love does. This is the power of God's love. So I want to encourage you very shortly that we need to dwell in love. And how good and how awesome is it when brethren dwells together. We need to dwell together. We need to spend time. We need to invite. It doesn't matter who did what or who does what. We can preach it. We can teach it. We can, these things, we can do whatever, but there's a certain aspect that needs to be applied, and it's this. It's inviting that person to your table. It's inviting that person into your midst when you get together. It's if a brother struggles, that's why Galatians talks about it, that we bear one another's burdens. It's bringing that person in. So family, just want to encourage you on that, and have a wonderful day. Blessings.